new apartment. When Emily Carson moved into apartment 4B at the old Redwood Manor, she was relieved. The rent was shockingly affordable, and the building had a strange charm: vintage wallpaper, iron railings, and an elevator that creaked like it had secrets. She was a young writer, fresh out of college, needing inspiration. The landlord, a man in his 60s named Mr. Dorsey, handed her the keys without much small talk. "Place has its quirks," he said with a smirk. "You'll see." Emily laughed, assuming he meant the noisy pipes or flickering lights. She was wrong. The apartment was neat, though dusty. It had a small living room, kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, and a narrow hallway that led to a wooden door she assumed was a closet. But when she opened it, she found something strange. It was a small room, square, windowless, empty but spotless. The wallpaper was different, dark red with faint swirling patterns. No furniture, no light switch, yet it smelled faintly of lavender and decay. Odd combination. She shrugged it off, assuming it was a maid's room from the building's old days. Part 2. The Whispering Wall. That night, as she lay in bed editing her manuscript, she heard a faint sound. Thump, thump, thump. It wasn't from upstairs or the hallway, it came from the red room. She walked over, opened the door. The room was still empty, silent, no source of the noise. Then she noticed something unsettling. The wallpaper's swirling patterns looked like faces. Not drawn, not painted, but impressed, as if someone had leaned into the walls and left their screaming expression behind. She laughed nervously. "I need sleep." But the next night, it was worse. Now she heard whispers, words she couldn't quite make out, spoken in a voice that sounded like a child and an old woman speaking at once. She kept the door shut after that. Part 3. Gone without a trace. By the end of the week, Emily couldn't take it anymore. She called Mr. Dorsey. "There's a room in my apartment, a small one. Do you know what it's for?" There was a pause. "I don't understand." "The red room at the end of the hallway." He chuckled dryly. "Miss Carson, apartment 4B doesn't have any extra room, just the bedroom, kitchen, bath, and living area. That's it." Emily froze. "No, there's definitely. Maybe you're mistaking a closet. I can send someone to check if you'd like." She hung up, confused and a little scared. She walked over to the hallway. The door was still there, the handle still cold. She opened it. Still a room, still red, still empty. She took a photo and emailed it to her friend Megan, who replied, "Why are you sending me a blank wall?" Emily checked the photo again. The room was missing. Part 4. What the Walls Remember. Over the next few days, Emily became obsessed. She tried photographing the room with a DSLR. The room never appeared in the pictures. She placed a lamp inside. It went out within seconds. She threw a tennis ball in and never heard it hit the ground. She once left the door open overnight. The next morning, the door was gone. Only a flat stretch of hallway wall remained. Smooth, no seam, no sign a door had ever been there. She panicked, knocked, pounded, nothing. But that night, the door was back, and there was something inside, a low shadow, shifting, like a person crouching in the corner. Emily slammed the door shut and pushed a chair against it. Part 5. The Vanishing begins. Her nightmares returned, ones she hadn't had since childhood: a dark room, a woman without eyes, a baby crying behind a wall, something sliding beneath the floorboards. One morning, Emily woke up to find her hallway shorter. The red door was gone again. She ran her hands over the smooth wall where it should have been. Cold, slightly moist. Her neighbor, Mrs. Tillman, was walking by as Emily opened her front door in panic. "You all right, dear?" Emily asked her if she'd ever heard about a red room in 4B. Mrs. Tillman's smile faded. "You shouldn't go looking for things that don't want to be found," she said softly before walking away. Part 6. Whispers from Nowhere. That night, the whispers returned, but they weren't from behind the door. They were inside her bedroom. "Do you see now?" A voice whispered near her ear. Emily screamed and turned on every light. Nothing there. On the wall, someone had scratched the word, "Remember." Part 7. Mr. Dorsey's Truth. Desperate, Emily confronted Mr. Dorsey the next day. "There's a room in 4B. It appears, then disappears. There's something in it." Mr. Dorsey sighed and locked his office door. He poured himself a glass of bourbon and finally said, "You're not crazy." "Not entirely." "What do you mean?" Redwood Manor was built in 1911. One of the architects, Marcus Vell, designed a hidden chamber in 4B. He believed he could create a room that remembered pain, a room that would take what people didn't want anymore: memories, guilt, people. Emily stared, heart racing. He lost his wife and daughter in a fire, built that room afterward, said it would bring them back. It didn't, but it did start taking others. What happened to him? Vanished in that room. Part 8. The Final Night. Emily packed her bags that evening. She had to leave, but the hallway was longer now. The red door was back, and it was wide open. From inside, a soft lullaby played, the kind her mother used to hum when she was 5, when she had nearly drowned in the lake, when she woke up coughing and screaming and swore she saw a woman with no eyes pulling her under. "Come back," the voice whispered. Emily walked slowly to the door. The red room looked darker, deeper, bigger. It wasn't empty anymore. The walls pulsed like breathing lungs. The faces in the wallpaper weren't impressions, they were alive, eyes moving, lips twitching. At the center stood a woman, burned, hollow-eyed. "Mom?" Emily whispered, trembling. The figure smiled. Behind her, the door began to close by itself. Part 9. The Room That Vanished. 3 days later, Mr. Dorsey entered apartment 4B with 2 policemen. Emily had stopped answering her phone. Her rent was overdue. They searched the apartment. No sign of her, no red door, only 4 rooms. Her belongings were there, her laptop open. A document still on the screen, open quote, "The room that takes memories is hungry again. This time it took mine." Close quote. The police dismissed it as a missing persons case. Dorsey knew better. As he walked away, he felt a cold breeze along the hallway. A new door appeared behind him. Red. Smiling, he whispered, "Welcome back." To watch the second part of this video, please subscribe to the channel and like the video.